Saturday of the 6th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the letter of St. James. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers and sisters, for you realize that we will be judged more strictly, for we all fall short in many respects. If anyone does not fall short in speech, he is a perfect man, able to bridle the whole body also. If we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we also guide their whole bodies. It is the same with ships. Even though they are so large and driven by fierce winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot's inclination wishes. In the same way, the tongue is a small member and yet has great pretensions. Consider how small a fire can set a huge forest ablaze. The tongue is also a fire. It exists among our members as a world of malice, defiling the whole body and setting the entire course of our lives on fire, itself set on fire by Gehenna. For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and sea creature, can be tamed and has been tamed by the human species, but no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless the Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this need not be so. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "You will protect us, Lord." Help, O Lord, for no one now is dutiful. Faithfulness has vanished from among the children of men. Everyone speaks falsehood to his neighbor. With smooth lips they speak and double heart. You will protect us, Lord. May the Lord destroy all smooth lips, every boastful tongue. Those who say, "We are heroes with our tongues, our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us?" You will protect us, Lord. The promises of the Lord are sure, like tried silver, freed from dross, sevenfold refined. You, O Lord, will keep us and preserve us always from this generation. You will protect us, Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus took Peter, James, and John and led them up a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no fuller on earth could bleach them. Then Elijah appeared to them along with Moses, and they were conversing with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Rabbi, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He hardly knew what to say, they were so terrified. Then a cloud came, casting a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice, "This is my beloved Son, listen to him." Suddenly, looking around, the disciples no longer saw anyone but Jesus alone with them. As they were coming down from the mountain, he charged them not to relate what they had seen to anyone, except when the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what rising from the dead meant. Then they asked him, "Why do the scribes say that Elijah must come first?" He told them, "Elijah will indeed come first and restore all things. Yet how is it written regarding the Son of Man that he must suffer greatly and be treated with contempt? But I tell you that Elijah has come, and they did to him whatever they pleased, as it is written of him." The Gospel of the Lord.
Thursday of the 6th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading comes from the letter of James, chapter 2, verses 1 to 9. In this passage, we hear one of James's favorite topics, the idea that we should show the poor and the rich equal respect. Because very often at the liturgical gatherings of the community, those who were rich were given special seats, places of honor, treated with great respect. While those who were poor were shunted off to the edge of the community. And James is very insistent that this is not what Jesus would have done. That in fact, the rich probably became rich by robbing the poor, and therefore they should be penitent for the way that they've oppressed the poor in the past. The Gospel is from Mark 8, 27 to 33. This is one of three revelations of who the Son of Man is and what he has come to the earth to do. In this passage, we hear about Jesus and his disciples being near Caesarea Philippi, which is in the north of Galilee, a place where the Jordan River surges up from underground and produces a pool. Well, Jesus asks, "Who do people say that I am?" And then finally, he asks them, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter says, "You are the Christ." The word Christ is the Greek word for Messiah, the Anointed One. And Jesus then says the Son of Man must suffer greatly. Notice Jesus doesn't call himself the Messiah. He calls himself the Son of Man, which is taken from Daniel 7, in which the Son of Man receives power and authority over the nations. But whenever Jesus uses that term, he also applies vocabulary taken from the Songs of the Suffering Servant, 2nd Isaiah, in which this mysterious figure would suffer for the sins of the people, die, be buried among robbers, and rise on the third day. Well, when Peter hears that Jesus predicts his own passion, his suffering, he tells Jesus not to say that, because Peter figures if Jesus is the Messiah, then at the very least, he's going to be prime minister. He's looking out for himself. What does Jesus respond to Peter? "Get behind me, Satan." It's a very strong phrase, but Satan is the name given to the tempter, the one who wants us to reject that which God created us to be. And in fact, in the Gospel of Mark, which has these three revelations, all three times the disciples respond inappropriately because they want Jesus to use his status in order to make them rich, powerful, whereas Jesus has come to give an example of service. And the ultimate service is by dying on the cross. And may God bless us.